Hey, Kaleo. Tonight is a little bit different. As you can see, we're here at my house. Welcome. Because of the crazy weather outside, we had to do service online tonight. So that's really exciting. And I hope that y'all are being warm and safe out there, and that you had a fun snow day. And this video is not going to be too long. I just got a couple things to share with y'all. First, I wanted to give a few announcements of some stuff that we've got coming up this month. So the first one is going to be that this Sunday we've got a Super Bowl party, and that's going to be awesome. That's going to be in the youth room at 5 o'clock this Sunday night, and we're asking that everybody bring your own snacks or drinks to share with everybody. So that we can have an awesome party. So we'll be out there watching the whole thing until it ends. It'll be awesome. The next thing is that we have the Winter Jam coming up this next Sunday, and it's in Birmingham. So we're going to need to meet at the church at 2:30, and it's only $15. Now, if you've never been to Winter Jam, it is an awesome concert. It's there's several different bands that are going to be there, and if you want to go, please text me or tell me on Sunday or whatever. And the next thing we've got going on, and y'all can't really see this, sorry, and that we are putting on a Valentine's Day banquet. It's going to be called Date Night for Speed the Light, and that is happening on Valentine's Day. Now, here's the thing, guys. This year, we set a goal of $5,000 to raise for Speed the Light, which is going to be awesome. And I know that we can do it. So this is going to be our first event that's purely going to raise money for Speed the Light. If you don't know what Speed the Light is, it is an opportunity for us to give to missions, give to missionaries that are overseas or all over the world, to provide them with vehicles, with equipment, with all the stuff they need to do their missions work. And so the details of this are is that it's going to be on Friday night, February 14th, so Valentine's Day, and it's going to start at 6 o'clock. Now, here's the thing. We, as Kaleo, are actually putting this on. So what that means is that all of us, we're going to be serving. We're going to be hosting the event. We're going to be selling tickets for it. We're going to be doing all of the work, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So tickets are on sale for $30, and we can talk more about that on Sunday. They're going to be on sale for $30, but then at the door they're going to be $40, and that's per person. Now, this is a very fancy dinner. We're going to have a 3-course meal and dessert and entertainment and prizes, door prizes, and all this kind of stuff. Now, we are not attending this event. One more time, we are the workers of this event. This event is for couples, parents, and all your parents' friends and all the people in the church to come and enjoy a very nice date night so that we can raise money for Speed the Light. So that's what's up for all of our announcements. Now, I wanted to get to a real quick little devotional with y'all. These past 2 weeks, we've been talking about the phrase, hear the call and join the move. Now, that's kind of our token phrase. And I've been spending some time explaining it. Last week, we talked about the first part of the phrase, hear the call. And we talked about a story of a boy named Samuel, and how he was in bed and being awoke multiple times by the voice of the Lord, and that he thought it was his mentor Eli, but then once he was expecting to hear the voice of the Lord, and he was waiting for it, he heard it. And then what did he do? He said, "Speak, God, I'm your servant, ready to listen." And the way he heard his call, the call that God had on his life, was because he was expecting and he was close to God. He was spending time with Him. So that's what we talked about last week. And this week, I want to talk about the other half of the phrase. Join the move. I know it's a little tough to see, guys. It's my TV, so we did the best we could. But there's a big group in the Bible who were the main part, the most influential part of Jesus' ministry. And I'm sure y'all know who the group I'm talking about. 12 guys, ragtag band of brothers, and they were the disciples. And in Matthew, Jesus, it starts off in chapter 4, Matthew 4, of Jesus calling his disciples. Now they were not the religious leaders. They were not the guys that you would think would be the most prepared and the most qualified for this position of to be Jesus's follower. And in Matthew 4, verse 18 through 22, Jesus is walking by, and he says to them, he says, "Come and follow me." And I'll get that. I'll pull this up right here, and I'll read that story for y'all. Just one second. Here it is, Matthew 18 through 22. Walking along the beach of Lake Galilee, Jesus saw two brothers, Simon, later called Peter, and Andrew. They were fishing, throwing their nets into the lake. It was their regular work. Jesus said to them, "Come with me. I'll make you a new kind of fisherman out of you. I'll show you how to catch men and women instead of perch and bass." They didn't ask questions, but simply dropped their nets and followed. Now, that's pretty crazy. These guys, they made their living out of this industry of fishing. And they had probably, back in those days, they spent so much time learning their trade, learning their craft. And it's not like today where you can go to college for 4 years and learn and then go get a job somewhere and then you stay at that job and leave and go to another job 2 years later and whatever. No, these guys, they spent their lives doing this. And their fathers probably were fishermen. And their grandfathers were probably fishermen. And the boat that they had was probably belonged to their family. And this being a fisherman was their livelihood. That's what they got up every morning and every night. And they didn't have all the cool stuff that we have today to distract us. They didn't have TV. They didn't have books even. They didn't have all of these things that we fill our time with. That's what they mostly spent their time doing, was providing for their family, catching food, selling it, making money so that they can go out and catch more food. It was a big cycle. And so these guys, it says right here that they just dropped it and said, "Okay, let's go." What? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But the cool thing is that these guys were later the founding fathers of the Christian faith. They went on to be the most influential people, in my opinion, some of the most influential people in history, because they were the ones who shared Jesus' story with the world. They were the ones who wrote the Gospels. There were other people who contributed to the Bible, but some of the disciples were the ones who actually wrote this that we read today. And they were just fishermen, they were just tax collectors, they were just random people. And obviously to God they weren't random. But But to us, they seem just like, what? God, what were you thinking? How many times do we ask God, what were you thinking? But he knows, he has a greater plan. And he knows what is going on and what's happening now and what's going to happen in the future. Right? So let's keep reading. And then it says here, a short distance down the beach, they came upon another pair of brothers, James and John, Zebedee's sons. These two were sitting in a boat with their father. So they were actually right there with him. Zebedee, mending their fishes. Jesus made the same offer to them. This offer was, come with me. I'll make a new kind of fisherman out of you. I'll show you how to catch men and women instead of perch and bass. That's exactly what it said right there. So, Jesus made the same offer to them, and they were just as quick to follow, abandoning the boat and their father. What? Now, back in those days, if you went off somewhere, if you got on your camel and your donkey and whatever and started riding off, this type of travel took much more time than getting in a car or getting in a plane. And they didn't have any type of communication device so that they could text their dad and say, hey, I'll be back in a month. I'll see you a little bit later. No, when these people left, when these people got up and left, abandoning, that means just completely deserting. That means just letting it go completely, not even worrying about it. Not just turning around and leaving, but throwing it in the ocean. If you abandon something, you throw it, it's away from you. And they abandoned their father, and they abandoned their livelihood. Why? To follow this man, to join the move that he was doing, to join the move that he was making on that generation. And the cool thing is, guys, is that this move is still happening today. It is still happening right now. But the thing is that it's not as easy as it sounds. Because right here, it sounds like, yeah, we'll just hop up, we'll follow Jesus, no big deal. But if you look later on in Matthew, Jesus says something that's pretty cool. It's in Matthew 16:24. Then Jesus went to work on his disciples. Anyone who intends to come with me has to let me lead. You're not in the driver's seat, I am. Don't run from suffering, embrace it. Follow me, and I'll show you how. Self-help is no help at all. Self-sacrifice is the way, my way to finding yourself, your true self. What kind of deal is it to get everything you want but lose yourself? What could you ever trade your soul for? And then he also says, don't be in such a hurry to go into business for yourself. Before you know it, the Son of Man will arrive with all the splendor of his Father, accompanied by an army of angels. You'll get everything you have coming to you, a personal gift. This isn't pie in the sky by and by. Some of you are standing here and are going to see it take place. See the Son of Man in kingdom glory. Now let's back up here a little bit. It says, anyone who intends to come with me has to let me lead. Whoa. Let's just, that phrase in itself, that statement in itself is a big statement. Even though it's a tiny little phrase, has to let me lead. Letting God lead, you can go anywhere. God will take you anywhere. It'll happen, and it's just this thing, and you just start going there, and sometimes he takes you in a place where you were not planning on going. You did not want to go. But why? It's so that It's so that you can find yourself, find your true self, and learn how to embrace suffering and how to live a life of self-sacrifice. Why? So we can give God glory. Because that's what our lives are here on this earth for, is to give God the glory, not take the glory for ourselves. Because it says right there, don't go into business for yourself. Don't try to build this kingdom on earth. Because then when God comes back, that kingdom doesn't mean anything. The Bible also says, store up treasures in heaven, not on earth. Do things that are kingdom, God's kingdom minded, not my kingdom minded. So, my challenge to you guys tonight is not only how are we going to hear that call? Are we ready to hear his call? But then, once we do hear his call, are we ready to join his move? And I guess I should have changed the word right there. Instead, hear his call, join his move. Because there were other people who believed in him. There's tons of other people in the Bible who believe in Jesus. But they were just bystanders. They were just people sitting in the bleachers at a football game. They were watching. They were watching the game happen. Do you want to be someone in the bleachers? Or do you want to be a player on the field? Some of you guys are like, oh, it's so easy to be in the bleachers. I love sitting there and just letting it happen. But you know what? The football players are the ones who get the trophy. The football players are the ones who get those rings. The people who actually put their effort into it are the ones who receive the reward. And God says in his word that we will receive a reward in heaven. But you know what? It's not all about the reward by any means. It is about saving those people who are drowning and who are dying. It's about reaching our lost friends. It's about showing them the truth and the light. And not about ourselves. It's about living a life of compassion, living a life of sacrifice. So, my question tonight is, are you ready to join his move? Are you ready? And maybe after this video ends, you could take a moment and just pray and just say, God, I want to be ready. I want to be ready for your move. I want to be ready to join it. As soon as you call, God, drop everything and go. Just like the disciples did. But you know what? This move is not easy. God doesn't want people to like say, hey, yeah, I'm coming. I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm coming. And then when the roads gets rough, it's like, oh, Jesus, I'll see you later. Oh, no, it's too hard. No, it's cool. I'll catch up with you. No. These disciples, they dedicated their lives, their entire lives, not just an afternoon, not just a day of the week. They dedicated their entire lives to God's move. They went all over the place sharing the gospel. And you know what? They died for what they believe in. Can you guys say that you're ready to die for what you believe in? I'm not. It's a scary thought. It really is. I want to be. I want to be. But it's a scary, scary thought. I had a dream, literally, last night, that I was supposed to be killed. Yeah. You're saying, whoa, Pastor Garrett. Yeah, I had a dream last night that I was supposed to be, killed for this thing. And I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh. because it was scary. That's my thought that I want y'all to get in your head is are you ready to join his move? Are you ready to get up and let's go? So I want to pray real quick, and then I've got something cool for y'all. Something that's going to make sharing the gospel and sharing with your friends something that's going to be pretty easy. It's not going to require much effort on your part. And it's something that Kaleo is going to start doing and start putting out there for y'all as kind of a tool for you to use. Okay, so let me pray. Father God, we hear your call, Jesus. We know that you have called us. And Father, I pray that you give us the strength and the courage to join that move, God. To join your move. I pray that as we walk into our schools, God, as we walk into our workplaces, Father, as we walk into just waking up every day, we walk into our lives, in our daily life, God, that we would walk in the direction that you want us to. God, that we would let you lead. As it says in your word, Father, that we would let you lead and teach us how to live a life that is a life pleasing to you, God. We love you, Jesus, and we thank you so much for what you've done for us and what you've given us. God, and all we want to do is follow you. We love you, God. In your name, amen. All right, guys, so check it out real quick before I sign off. We've got this thing. They're called Kaleo covers. And basically, there's tons of different cover photos that I created. They're all the right size to go on your Facebook cover right there. And they have a bunch of random things on them. And all they say is a little something about Kaleo. That's all it is. Then, once your friends see that cool cover photo, they're going to be like, oh, cool, what's that? Or they're going to go check out, so this is an example of one of them. They're just going to go check out that handle right there at Kaleo Movement. And they're going to see what's going on. And that's going to spark some interest. And that's going to spark some questions. And hopefully, if y'all like this, then I'll go and create some Twitter cover photos, some photos for the backgrounds on your phones, photos for the backgrounds on your laptops and things like that, so that y'all can let the world know and let your friends know what is going on in your life. And you don't have to go and blast them and say, oh yeah, check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. No, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to hear that. This is a real simple, easy way to put some style on your profile. To put some Kaleo on your page. To get the word out so that people will come on Wednesday nights and so that they can hear the gospel. So they can hear about Jesus. So they can know what's going on. Alright guys, so after this video is posted, I'm going to post a link. And it's going to be a link where you can go and download any of the cover photos. So, if you have any problems with it, just text me or Facebook me, and I will make it real easy for y'all to get the graphics. And you can put any one of them up there. You don't have to do the same one that everybody else is doing. There's a bunch of them. You can put whichever ones up there as you want, or you can download them all and just change them out here and there. So take a look at this on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, all that kind of stuff, on my Facebook page. And I'll have a couple covers up there that you can take and steal from me. Please, steal them. Rachel will have a couple covers up there that you can steal from her. And we'll get this pumped and get this going. All right, y'all? Love ya. Be safe. Peace out.